2021 as I say this. Hope you're doing good, people. I was here earlier on today, live and direct. Hope you managed to catch us on Shinecast. If you didn't, well, you can go check it out on haps.tv. The account is Shinecast, or you can go on to any browser, www.shinecast.live. I was speaking with my friend Jimmy Heaven, as I often do these days, on a weekly basis. It has been up until now. He's in Japan, and if you want to know more, then well, check it out. Don't forget to share, like, and follow here as well on my own personal channels, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or again, the place to be really is haps.tv. You'll be hearing more about that, the app, which is on iOS or Android, or their website, over the coming months. I'm sure it's becoming very popular, and it's not just a live video streaming platform, it's also a bit like a blog as well for a lot of users. So you can follow someone and find out exactly what's happening. Check out their latest posts, whether that's a video or still image, or, as I say, live video, which we like here. Definitely, we endorse all the way and advocate live video, particularly if you've got a business or something else to promote, event, when they start happening again. I mean, at the moment we're in a lockdown as I broadcast this live. We're locked down in London and the rest of the UK, so this means that unfortunately live events are something, a very distant memory at the moment, and nothing really much more. So I don't know if you checked out my previous broadcasts. I'm realising that actually there was a good handful today, because I was out and about travelling and had to travel by train to pick up a vehicle, a car, and just acquired that after having an accident a little while ago. I was telling people all about this over recent weeks, certainly. But I'm back on the road, so to speak, which is a good thing, and it means I'll be able to show you out and about more as time goes on now, the various places that I'm travelling to and through. Don't forget, by the way, to certainly follow here now as you're hearing this. Don't wait, don't delay. Do follow, because again, over the coming weeks, we will be certainly showing you some sights, sounds, and producing some content that you won't want to miss. You could even be a winner, and I'll leave it at that for now without giving anything away. And also, I do appreciate the support that people are giving. If you're on Haps and watching it via the app or their website, then you will know, particularly if you've signed up for an account on haps.tv, that you can support broadcasters such as myself in the way of giving awards, which have a financial value, albeit a few pennies. Not often anything is appreciated, and I think those of you that are supporting us in that way. And the great thing about this app as well, and website and the whole platform, is that even if you are watching just the replay and you didn't catch us live, well, you can also comment, and then I can also respond to you as a broadcaster. You couldn't do that on the platform like Periscope, for example. Periscope, as it stands and stood alone, and it's not around for much longer. It finishes in end of March 2021. But the thing about Periscope was that once a broadcast ended, you couldn't add a comment to it if you're watching a replay, and that's a bit different if you're on the haps.tv platform and watching via their website. Hello, Linda, by the way. Linda is all the way over there in the United States of America. Where have you been? Did you receive a notification to say that I was live, Linda? I think you would have done. Hope you did. But thank you, and hi to you. Thank you for dropping by. I wonder where you are today, by the way. Which part of the USA are you? Are you going to tell? Is it New York? Yeah, you're still right up there in the northeast, and trying to keep safe up there. It was very hard hit, was New York, at the beginning of the pandemic. We know that a lot of the USA was, but certainly New York State and the city of Manhattan. But things should be improving now, particularly as the vaccine is on its way to many, many people and will continue to roll out. But certainly I think we're up to something like 14 or 15 million people in the UK have already had an injection. We all need 2 injections for the vaccine. But 15 million, when there's approximately 70 million, we've still got a way to go. But I think all things considered, and well, bearing in mind the some would say circus that's been in town when it comes to running the show and ensuring a bit of authority during the pandemic, pretty shocking has our government been. But I think at least now with the vaccine rolling out across the UK and other parts of the globe, good things are starting to happen to see that the pandemic becomes a thing of the past much sooner than it otherwise would have done. I'm great. I'm in New York ski. Excellent, excellent. I do miss New York at the moment, I must say. I was thinking about, well, a year ago, once the pandemic was sort of well and truly underway, so it was, well, less than a year ago, wasn't it? It started full on around about February, March time, 2020 in the UK. So after that, I was thinking about returning to the USA sooner rather than later, but of course, pandemic put paid to that last year. I was thinking, well, it might happen sort of the third quarter of 2021, if not the end of the year, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think sensibly, if we're going to start planning international travel, any of us, that's really got to take place at the earliest, and anything sort of like it would have done before the pandemic. It's going to be 2022, I think, really, before things get back to some kind of, acceptable standard of travel, shall we say, And, well, in the meantime, it's what has become known as the staycation, I think, for a lot of people, certainly in the UK. Summer 2021, if people are going to be allowed out, and we don't suddenly have another lockdown situation, then, well, people will be holidaying, I think, in their own country, or certainly in the British Isles, or somewhere around the UK. As long as everyone cooperates, we should get a hold of it. Yes, but there are plenty of people that don't really want to take the vaccine. And I have to say that I'm on the fence at the moment. I won't be rushing to accept the vaccine immediately right now, but I will be thinking about it very carefully and seriously, and with a little bit more information, I should be encouraged to ensure that I get the jab, both of them. Yes, we are still in lockdown. Yes, although it has been leaked via the press over the last handful of days that the government are very possibly going to start announcing that. Well, I think it might be on Monday, as early as Monday now. Where are we now? It's Friday, so about 3-4 days time, they reckon. Then the government will start indicating how they intend to bring us out of the current lockdown. Although I have to say, if you look around the streets where I live, certainly on the edge of London and other similar areas, people now have fatigue when it comes to lockdown. And although we're meant to be out and about only for essential journeys and essential shopping, it's very obvious it's not just that people are out for. I see people chatting in the street in groups without masks on and in close proximity of each other. I'll repeat this again in the future plenty, and I've said it already on here, but I go out to the local park and I see all the parents sort of grouped up in the playground area where all the swings and slides and apparatus is located, and they're all chatting very close to one another, 3-4 at a time, in a little circle standing there, but while their children are all playing together on the swings and slides and just spreading the virus potentially. Pretty shocking stuff. Hi, champ. Matthew Galkin says, hello to you. It's been a while. Well, I wonder why it's taken. It's interesting, this. I'm noticing that people aren't joining us straight away like they used to. When I used to be on Periscope as the prime platform, as soon as I went live, you'd receive a notification, and within seconds, people would start joining, and within the next, handful of minutes, we had a great community chatting amongst themselves. I think we're going to get back to that in not too distant future, which is a good thing. But yes, I haven't been broadcasting at my regular time slot that has been often 11 p.m. local time across the UK. Today, the first time in quite a while. And it's ironic because I have been broadcasting on and off today. So it's the day I didn't kind of have to broadcast in order to ensure my presence here. As I say, last sort of 3 or 4 days, I haven't been around at all on live video, and I haven't connected with you all. So I'm glad I have now. And I'm glad to see that a couple of our regulars are joining in the chat, definitely. Linda and Matthew, completely different corners of the globe, we all are. How awesome. I am not joining HAPS. Why is that, Matthew Calkin? You're going to have to. Either that, or you're going to miss out when it comes to, well, I suppose you can just chat away there on where you are at the moment, which is Twitter. That's good enough, I suppose. But you're going to miss some stuff, I think, Matthew. But yeah, that's the great thing about HAPS. So even if people don't join the HAPS platform, these broadcasts are simulcast elsewhere that I happen to be on the web. And I'm on Twitter. We're connected to Twitter. Matthew's on Twitter. So he gets to see this still without being on the main platform that we're using at the moment. So I've got a bit of a metaphorical drum roll at the moment, waiting for Matthew to tell us why he's not going to join HAPS specifically. Twitter live for me and Instagram. Yes, but I understand that, Matthew. But it's something for me to consider. Twitter live. Yeah, might start using that myself. But the thing is, at least when I'm using HAPS, it's all over the various platforms. Like I say, simulcast saves us having to retweet things, repost things. But that said, there's a little way to go regarding the HAPS apps when it comes. I just realised another reason that I haven't jumped at Twitter Live, Matthew, is because their broadcast studio, in quotes, Periscope had something called Periscope Producer. I think it might be called Producer on Twitter. Can't remember because I haven't looked at it in a while. But you can't just join it. I think they're still rolling it out, and I haven't got access to the live studio suite, if you like. I can go live just from my mobile digital device, but if I want to go live from our little production suite and equipment, I can't do that. A bit like our Shinecast was today, sort of looking stuff. Have you heard about what Matthew did? I don't think I have. What did Matthew do? And are we talking about the Matthew that is the one and only Calkin, who's commenting and with us right now at the moment? Yes, says Matthew. Not sure what that yes is in response to. I've babbled a few things over the last minute regarding Twitter, live, the producer side of it, and the fact that I'm not sure what Matthew did. Linda was asking, but let's see what Matthew did when we read it. Any moment now. I'm checking, as you can see. Goodness me, gotta stop that. Hey, right. Matthew's still sitting there calmly, patiently. I think while Linda types, I'm certainly sitting here very patiently. Going to disappear very shortly, though. Have you, by the way, Matthew, seen today's journey in Shinecast? Certainly. You can head over. I could almost nearly got my tongue tied there. But yeah, you can head over to Shinecast, either on Twitter, HAPS, or Shinecast.live on any browser. You'll see the chat that I had with Jimmy Heaven today. Did I say Spain when I meant Japan? He was in Japan, in Nagoya, while I was in London, driving and talking with him and others. And when we spoke with the wonderful Chris in Brixham, southwest England, Linda says that Matthew was caught watching. Linda, thank you for watching. Okay. That's a bit of a revelation, isn't it? Right. I wonder. Linda certainly knows how to stop a broadcast in its tracks. Not that we were hanging around for too long, but stay well, all of you, whoever you are, wherever you are watching this. And I will be back on here sooner rather than later. Not sure when that will be. Hopefully it'll be in less than 24 hours. I'm off to sleep very soon. Okay, Linda. Well, do share your knowledge with everyone on social media and out and about as well as you should. And if it's as should we say, as stark as what you're saying here right here and now, and I'm well, as I say, I'm just double checking and reading that I read correctly. You understand? Yes. Then indeed, I don't know about having a discussion, but it's certainly something to be talked about, as in noted and well, as you've done, statements made. Brenda T knows. Interesting. That's a total broadcast on its own, isn't it? There, Linda. Maybe that. Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's why that named individual isn't going to be joining HAPS. I'm confused now. But if we're talking about the same person, I'm waiting for a response. You're right to reply, please. Almost hour when I'm going to disappear. That is, by the way. 60 seconds to go. It's 11:29. As I say this, of course, it might not be. Probably about 3:42 in the afternoon, as you sit there on your Pacific Island beach, watching this in the year 2334. Who knows? Right. It's all gone quiet on the chat. What's going on, guys and girls? No more? Is that it? I think certainly one person's disappeared. Hello from Toronto. Michael Bathurst, about time. How the devil are you? You won't believe that it was very, very strange. I haven't been on HAPS for a few days. Today I've been on HAPS, Friday the 19th of February, for quite a bit. I was about to disappear, but now you're here. You've now made sure that I have to continue the broadcast to say, Mr. Bathurst, that I was on your YouTube channel today. Didn't watch any videos, just happened to click on your profile. And I thought to myself, it's that man again. One of those that I must connect with in due course. And look what the universe has delivered. Isn't that strange, eh? And we were talking to Mr. McGuinness. Is it, up in Chicago, USA. Can't remember right now. Is it, no, I'm not even going to try to remember. Otherwise I definitely won't. But you know who I'm speaking about. He has some regular chats on HAPS. How are you doing today? I'm doing very good. Thank you very much, Michael. Don't forget to follow if you're not doing so already. I think you might be following, though, if you've joined us now. I just sent you a Twitter DM, says Mr. Galkin. Excellent. Lovely. Look forward to reading all your messages, people, at the moment. I have a bit of extra time on my hands, so I have been responding to various messages that I've been receiving more than I would usually. The universe is sending you waves of unconditional love. Thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, it's been a very good day today because if you look back on my previous broadcast with Jimmy Heaven, the last one, which was today, Jimmy, my friend in Japan, I was actually collecting a vehicle because I had an accident. I think I mentioned this at the top of this broadcast probably, but anyhow, I had an vehicle accident about a month ago, been off the road for about 3 weeks, and finally, here we are, definitely back on the road today, picking up this wonderful little, you might think it's a little toy car, the size of it, and it seems to be running well. Going to have to test it over the coming days. But go check out Shinecast, either on the HAPS platform, or you can go shinecast.live on any browser, or find us on Twitter or Facebook as well on that account. What are you grateful for, my gifted friend? Well, I would suggest I'm definitely grateful for you passing by today, along with Linda and anyone else that happens to be supporting us here just by enjoying what we're doing, And in time, there is so much to be said and sorted when it comes to embracing live video. It's a very interesting question, though, Michael. You need to be a guest on my show. Why is that? Why is that? You can't just have anybody on your wonderful show. Sure, you need someone interesting, someone with some positive energy, with that sort of vibrance that people can sort of enjoy discussion with. And because just remember, right, we're only human, and no matter what anyone says, none of us are 100% correct all of the time. The world would be boring anyway if everything was just perfect, I think. It's a bit like, what do you do when you win the lotto? You have all those zeros on the end of your bank balance, but wait a minute, there you are, certainly pre-pandemic, you were working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, maybe 7 days a week to make ends meet and pay your bills and support family and yourself, of course. And then you win the lotto or you have the jackpot in Vegas and all your friends, they have to continue working because they haven't won. Now, you might decide to take them all on a vacation holiday for a week or two, all expenses paid, but they still have to return to work to continue their ongoing lifestyle. You can't support them all the time. So what are you going to do? You're going to be a bit, when I say lonely, you're on your own with that money, aren't you? And maybe a significant other as well. So you can't, you follow what I'm saying, right? I guess you have to spread the energy, spread the love, pay it forward, definitely. You need to be a guest on my show. You have a gift for the gab. Well, you are gifted. Do you know what? I have got so many stories to tell, Michael. Don't get me started. The thing is, though, monologuing, it's something I never dreamt I would be able to do or like doing. And I feel like I'm doing that often here because let's face it, when you go live, this is the point, of course, with live video. I think the best way to engage live video and embrace it is with the worst case scenario, which is no one's going to join you, and they're not going to join you on your first video. No one knows you're there. And the analogy I always give is like a radio station. When it starts for the very first time, they play that first record, no matter how many times they advertise the fact that they're going live at 11 minutes past 11 p.m. on a Saturday night, for example, or for that matter, 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Who's going to be tuned in the moment you press the button and the first record or jingle plays? No one. But while it's playing, people will be metaphorically, because it's digital these days, but tuning in. And that's what happens with live video. So you kind of put it out there, the first one, no expectations, and no one watches. So you've got to have something to talk about, even if it's just introducing yourself and what you enjoy doing. And then the same for the second video, really, just a quick update, and third one. And then you start getting traction. People will generally join ever so slowly, and it's a bit like the old pyramid effect, isn't it? That when one person joins and you have 2, becomes 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc. Potentially. It is your time to shine, my new friend. Michael, it's almost frightening when someone connects with you and what they write is it's so brief yet so specific and on point. Mike, I've got to ask you what your favourite number is. And I don't just mean you've chosen the favourite number, but one that is actually significant to you as well, ideally. Maybe it is just a favourite number because maybe you don't have a number that works for you or is significant to your mortal existence. Is it? Yeah, so you're in tune with all that. It's amazing how many people are jumping on the bandwagon recently. If you check out social media, they just put 11:11 because they know it's supposed to have relevance. But I've got to tell you something, right? I'm going to share this with you now, guys and girls. This broadcast turning into it's almost a crazy moment. I think I might be able to do something actually here. Bear with me because I can't look at the comments at the moment, guys and girls, because I'm about to just share something with you, and it's quite crazy. As I was saying to you before, I collected a car today, a vehicle, and to do that I had to take a train. And my journey, it was quite mad really, because 11, and this is a story and a broadcast in itself, so I'll keep it brief for now, Michael, and I'm quite happy to make it one of the first topics we can talk about when we connect and I'm on your show, potentially, from what you were saying. I'm just waiting here for, let's see, is the technology going to play ball? I'm going to give it a little longer, but it might not. No, it doesn't look like it's going to play ball right away, which is unfortunate, but I can do this another way because we know all about this technology here. Goodness me, come along now, technology, work for me. And what I'm going to share with you is just a couple of images that I came across on my journey today. How are we going to do this? Goodness me. I can't see comments at the moment, so just hold back on those while I do this little technical thing that I didn't expect I would need to do, want to do, have to do here. And is it going to... No, what's going on here, people? It'll happen shortly. I guess if we're patient. Always got to... I see. Yeah, we're nearly there. In the meantime, just remind me where you are, Michael. Let's have a look. I can go back to the comments just while I'm waiting. Oh, the comments are... Goodness me. So 17. Your number's at 33. I'm an energy reader. Nothing is random. Michael, please, I don't want to sound patronising, but you are definitely an interesting character. It's quite, as I say, let's just press the magic button there. My internet, it says, oh my goodness, come on, recover internet. Well, it will recover. I've got to be patient. Here we are. I think I have what I wanted to. Yes, I have. Excellent stuff. I thought it was now I understand. Please bear with me, people. If it sounds like I'm talking in code or, sort of not being specific, well, I'm kind of not, am I? I'm trying to... Goodness me. It's going to work. File. No. When the technology doesn't work, it's very frustrating when you know what you want to do or what you need to do, and it just, as I say, isn't playing ball. Not good. It is not good. There we are. Right. As I say, the technology can get the better of you if you don't know what you're doing, and certainly if you're new to live streaming or anything really. Give it one more go here. Otherwise, no, never mind. It's been a long day here. It's almost tomorrow, actually. 20 minutes time, and it will be tomorrow. So, yeah. I'll just check your comments in just a moment, Michael, and everybody else. Linda, if you're still there as well. Hope you're still there, Linda, and you haven't just disappeared. Right, one of those. Goodness me, you've got to do this now. I've gone so far now that if I give up, it'll be a failure. And that's the point. We know that one for sure. But the definition of failure is when you say, enough's enough and I'm giving up. No, you can't do that so easily. Right, the technology, I can tell you now, is not going to get the better of us. I have indeed successfully done what I needed to do. I don't like using that word. Do you like using that word, D-O-N-E, done? There's always a better word. I was always taught there's a far better word that you can use in place of the word done in English when you're reading and writing. So, yeah. But things have changed as well. I mean, you're not supposed to start a sentence with the word and, I was always taught, but as I say, excuse me, no pun intended, but whether you're old school or 2021 school and education, things are changing all the time, aren't they? Very fluid, certain things that we learn. Right, I think I'm going to now check your comments, people. You're a crystal clear and living in this grand moment in time. Always. Well, yeah, do you know what, Mike? Which part of the USA are you? That's what I wanted to ask you. Nothing is random. Let's have a look here. I hope you're still there. View your profile. There we go. Got a reminder. Toronto. Yes, there we are. Of course, I think we sort of discovered that at the beginning when you introduced yourself. Now, that's interesting because you're Toronto. Without me cheating, I'm not cheating, before I use my noodle and hedge, are certainly not on the west side near Vancouver. Isn't Toronto, what's the other place I always forget? Ottawa. That's it. But Toronto, you're kind of above the Great Lakes there, just to the east of the Great Lakes, aren't you? And above the state of, well, New York, Ski, and Pennsylvania up there across the Canadian border there. I seem to remember. That's right. Everything is a life path or form of self-discovery. I'm certainly on the self-discovery path at the moment, and this is crazy because I really didn't. I could. You know what? You're giving me so much material to work with here, Michael. But you're Canadian born, great. Do you speak French? If I'm correct, Ottawa is like the French side, isn't it? Where you speak English and French in Canada. And that's, by the way, I realise it's Canada. Right? I was always, a Canadian once told me it's not Canada or any other way, it's Canada. Right? Something like that. And I'm generally good at spotting a Canadian accent, but when it's loud, and before the pandemic, if you were at a party or in a social situation where things were a bit loud and someone spoke with you with a Canadian accent, it wasn't always simple and straightforward to decipher the accent and identify it immediately. So I'm always asking people that sound like they're from Canada or the USA, because most people you understand would say, oh, which part of America are you from? Which part of the USA are you from? Of course, I don't want to insult anyone. So the best way of asking that question, I've always thought, and it always works for me, is which part of the North American continent are you from? It might be a bit more of a mouthful, but not much more in order to ensure you don't insult someone. Of course, it's a bit like New Zealand and Australia. So many people cannot distinguish between the two accents. Again, I can to a larger degree than not. Right. The planet is working to awaken your greatest potential. Listen, I need a manager, I think. So maybe you can work something out, Michael, eh? How about that? It's very strange because I've always been someone behind the camera, behind the technology, working in traditional television and then moving across to web video and streaming. But the more I've been on camera and meeting people, the more I've enjoyed it. And the more, well, quite frankly, the more you do it, the more confident you become. Even if you had no intentions of doing so, it just happens naturally, particularly if you're enjoying something. And so many people have told me, you should be, listen, Michael, you haven't been connected long enough to know that about, was it 18 months ago? Maybe a little longer. I had a brief radio show before I was bullied off live. Okay, live on the radio. People didn't hear much there because there was a record playing at the time, a track, but it was all seen on Periscope. Yeah. And it's interesting that I bring that up now because imminently I shall be contacting the radio station concerned because it's unfinished business, shall we say. They need to ensure that the matter is dealt with appropriately. Never was to this day. And I think they think that I've sort of melted into the distance, never to be heard of again. But alas, unfortunately for one individual there, the bully, in my opinion, and for that matter, in the opinion of all the people that were watching the live video stream out on Periscope and social media, I think this person needs to be spoken with in a way that they understand that they can't be as intimidating as they tried to be on that occasion. You process like Russell Brand, do I? Really? Is that how scatty I am? Is it the hair? Listen, actually. It's the hairstyle, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, my lockdown hair. Goodness, you can plaque this at the moment, as I keep saying. It's terrible. Everyone keeps telling me I look like a Beatle or maybe one of the Gallagher brothers, from Oasis, but it's terrible, my hair. But I got to the point a few weeks ago where I just said, forget it until the pandemic settles down somewhat. And we have some sort of, at the moment the barber is closed. I just better verify that. It's not that I haven't bothered to go to the barber, but they have all shut because they're classed as a non-essential business. Well, trust me, for me, it's very essential at the moment, dear Boris Johnson and the rest of the UK government. So please announce that the barbers will be opening up sooner rather than later. When you give your announcement on Monday, in 72 hours' time, roundabout, regarding us exiting the current lockdown that we find ourselves in across the UK. That is just an old story. You are opening new doors of abundance. Listen, while you're talking about that, we were referring to the numbers earlier on, weren't we? So without further ado, excuse me, I was telling you that number 11, since someone told me about the fact that I am very much associated with number 11 a few years ago, that was a good handful of years ago, well, then I've been encountering 11 all the time. When I look at the clock, it's always 11 minutes past the hour. That's why, for a long time, my broadcasts started at 11 minutes past 11 local time. Some will still continue to do so when we get some structure in. But what I wanted to share with you is this. When I arrived at the station today to take the train to pick up my car, of all things, what platform was it? There we have it. Hopefully you can still hear me while that plays. But yes, platform 11 was where I had to be to go to Hertford East. All the signs, all the signs were there. You see what I mean, Michael? And it was crazy because I asked someone which platform I should take the train from. And as he said platform 11, I said to him, I should have known better. I shouldn't have asked. I should have just headed there. But there you go. Right, I can look back at your comments now. That's what I was fiddling around with earlier on, trying to get those images on the screen rather than me just picking up my mobile digital device here and showing you in a rudimentary way. I managed to get it on the screen there. Right, so Toronto, we will have to definitely connect. The best thing, if you head over to Twitter, please, Michael, what I'd like you to do, please, if you can DM me, direct message me on Twitter, it's at Martin Shine, and you can certainly tell me the best way to connect with you. We can have a chat first. There's somebody else, Mr. McGuinness, as I was mentioning earlier on. What was his name in Chicago? There's a good handful of people I need to connect with here on Haps. They're doing brilliantly, and we just got to have some really sensible, decent conversation. And we spoke recently, myself, Jimmy Heaven, who's my friend that I met in Los Angeles, and now he's relocated to Japan, as I was saying earlier. So he definitely is. Well, he said to me he's going back to Los Angeles. He's got some important business to take care of, in so many words. And I think him and I are going to sort of meet again there at some point. But definitely, as I say, we'll be back in the US. And who knows, when I was over in Seattle, USA, in Washington State in the Northwest, I was there for the first time, end of 2018, and filming there very briefly. It's to do with cryptocurrency. I really wanted to go across the border, but I didn't have enough time to head to Vancouver, which I know is such a great city there in Canada, and British Columbia. But anywhere in Canada is a good start, so you never know, particularly while I'm over near the Great Lakes as well, when I get back to Chicago, Illinois. 2021 is your year. Interesting, Michael. Well, I guess we'll discuss that, and we'll discuss it with everyone else on here as well. I would have said to you, let's have a chat here now, but I think it's heading towards well, as I say, 10 minutes time. It'll be tomorrow for me, and that's a great one as well. My best friend is James Heaven. He lives in. Are you serious? You need to check out Jimmy Heaven then. Yeah. Yes, that's fascinating, because Heaven is an unusual family surname, I think, anyway. But for you to tell me that is almost freaky. Michael, you're almost moulding this, this sort of universal kind of vision board stuff right now, very bizarre. I have to say that recently I have been talking the talk to myself, not necessarily in front of a mirror, but certainly, instead of just putting things on a vision board, I have been reminding myself what I would appreciate the universe to deliver. Tell you one thing as well, this is a really fascinating point, is that we always talk about the universe and that we're in the universe. But it resonated me when someone mentioned this a long time ago, and I can't remember even where it's from, who said it, or where I read it. But of course, we're not necessarily in the universe, far from it. We are all part of the universe. you know. And one one thing for sure, I was definitely briefly educated on by a man called Alan Watts. Now you might know Alan Watts there, people listening. Alan Watts, go check him out online. A great philosopher and man to educate all of us. Unfortunately deceased. I think he passed away in the 1970s. But Alan Watts, he was one of the people who travelled over to the Far East and then brought back his learnings to the West. And as he described, you see, we always say that we're born into the world, like we're an alien, and a ship's landed and suddenly dropped us off. We're born into the world, and then we're almost given the vision that now we're in this very scary, strange place when we pop out here. But he was explaining that the way, certainly back then, that the belief system was in the Far East, they talk about us growing out of the earth like a flower or a plant does. And then when you realize that's what you are, and it's that way rather than just landing on a foreign sort of terra firma, so to speak, you can look at things from a different angle, just like the glass being half full or half empty. I've got to get back into I've got to listen to a lot of his recordings and his talks again. They're all on YouTube. The way I discovered Alan Watts was someone had put one of his talks to some background music, and it was a meme on Facebook a good handful of years ago. And it's brilliant listening, definitely. And he's sort of you can tell he's a heavy smoker, well, certainly a smoker, with his sort of his husky voice, but very listenable voice, and that's really important. You don't often come across someone who has all the knowledge, but you actually want to listen to them and you enjoy the tone. Now I just accept people say to me that you've definitely got a face for radio. No, let's get it right. You definitely have a face and a voice for radio. And while I've always just listened to my voice and thought nothing of it, a lot of people, particularly in the USA, are like, you gotta get on the radio, And in fact, one of my long-term followers and a good friend now, who's not here, hasn't been here for a while, they keep reminding me that definitely radio is an option, shall we say. So what we're going to do, hopefully sooner now rather than much later, and yes, it will be definitely in 2021, is that I'm going to ensure that we have at least an hour or two of good kind of radio style music and a presentation to wake people up to on HAPS. At some point, I think it should be on HAPS, definitely. And because of the time zone I'm located on right now, it will probably be a wake-up call, in quotes, for those people on the east to west coast USA and, South America too. Yeah. We are all wonderful roots of potential. Yes, we are, absolutely, definitely. The only person that is limiting us in what we do is ourselves. And I hasten to add, that's because of the way we've been conditioned. They had the best intentions, but people around me, very close to me, talking family, for many years, were always, they want the best for you, which is great. We're very lucky when that's the case. Some people are less fortunate. Sadly, people who are close to them that should be guiding them in a very positive and productive way, often they're negligent, we miss for whatever reason. But the people around me were very much, go get a day job, and go and do it this way because it's the proven way, which is this career or that career. Be a lawyer, be a barrister, be a doctor, that sort of thing. But then who is going to pick up the trash that we all create in the street and stuff like that? Who is going to be the person that does clean up after you if we all want to do the same thing? And more to the point, there's only a handful of jobs that are respectable. No, you do what you feel best doing and happy doing, Some people are just happy knitting. Others are happy cooking, being florists. Some people are, believe it or not, are very happy collecting trash, rubbish in the streets, in the trash cans, in the bins, sweeping the streets, That's a pretty decent job, I would say, cleaning the streets, particularly if you're a sociable type and you can talk to people along the way. Your mindset is the key to inner peace. Do you mean, well, in general, or Martin Shine's mindset? Are you commenting on specifically there? Or are you talking about both, perhaps? But yes, Michael, absolutely. Anything's possible. And if anyone tries to tell you otherwise, it doesn't matter what stage of your mortal existence you're at, you can always start heading in a different direction, and to something that may be more pleasing to your eyes and ears, making them all smile. Yes. Right. Where are we? The trouble with the chat, of course, is that while we're talking, it takes a while for people's typing and chat to get back to me. Anyone else out there, apart from Michael, want to join in? Please do. I can see everyone's dipping in and out here. But yes, chat's definitely the way forward. Communication is key, and the sooner that businesses and other organisations realise that and embrace this technology to connect with their community, potential clients, customers, the world will be a far better place. Certainly the business community will be, and small businesses. Be the light you desire most in this weary world. Yes, I'll second all of that, Michael. Definitely. Right. Well, I'm going to sort of wind it up now, because by the time I have said goodbye, well, my day will literally be over. So I want to thank everyone, whether you're watching live or on the replay, and certainly those who have been commenting as well. Linda earlier on, Michael as we're about to leave, and latterly. And yeah, definitely thanks for the support, because there would be no point doing this if we didn't think, or more to the point, know that you're enjoying it, because I do get the feedback from people all the time. Who was it, by the way, watched earlier on today? Someone watched one of my journeys on the train and commented, "Thank you for sharing the broadcast," and it really makes it worthwhile. Yeah, don't forget to direct message me, please, Michael. You can always message me, email me if you want to, and to do that, just email me, martin@martinshine.com. If you don't want to direct message me on my Twitter account, which is the next best thing, if you're not going to email. The power, yeah, absolutely, the power. By the way, 3 was always my preferred and favorite number from a very early age, very early age, in single digits, maybe sort of 7, 8, 9, particularly 9. You see the correlation there between 3 and 9. But 3 I knew was a very good number, until much later on in life, someone reminded me that number 11 is a number that's very significant to me, should be. And once someone sort of tells you that, encourages you that, educates you on that, then you focus on it, and it really does start to happen. It's almost scary. But why was 3 my preferred number? They say 3 is the magic number. I always used to hear people not necessarily arguing, but in discussions and disagreements, and someone would say left and the other one would say it's better to go right, and someone would say black and someone would say white. By the way, I'm not a poet. Yeah, I might be, but I just don't know it. But see what I did there? But anyhow, the point I was going to make about the number 3 is that very early on I realized that when I heard someone saying this and another person saying that, I knew that somewhere there was a meeting point, potentially in the middle. Yeah, a bit of compromise and an alternative, where you can take a bit of this one and a bit of that one, mix them together and have the best of both, effectively. So that's why I prefer the number 3, if it wasn't for 11 right now. So thanks, everybody. You wouldn't believe that I started this broadcast on Friday, and it's now Saturday, the 20th of February 2021. Michael's saying, "What? What are you talking about, Mr. Shine?" No, it's true, because it's already past midnight locally here on the Greenwich time zone. Yeah, GMT. I love doing that, Michael. See, you are so yesterday. That's what they used to tell me as well. I always used to be told that the USA, if not Canada, was 10 years ahead of the United Kingdom. And again, when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, I would question this and say, but wait a minute, surely that's not right, because the UK is always anything between 5 or 8 hours ahead of the North American continent. There we go. Yeah, that's one of the things I always repeat from time to time because it's a truth and a fact. And if you're new here, hopefully it's interesting and a bit of infotainment as well. Thanks once again, Michael. I look forward to connecting with you and certainly talking as well going forward. And yeah, you never know. Gift of the Gabs were mentioned earlier on. Well, yeah, you never know. Yeah, Hollywood, here I return to. It was a great time last time in Hollywood. I was just speaking to my friend today. Speak to quite a few people actually today, all around the globe, and one of them, my friend, just outside Hollywood in Los Angeles, and can't wait to get back there and for us to socialize and meet up and have a good drink and sherry or two. And yeah, hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later when the travel is allowed once again in a more appropriate way, as I was saying at the beginning of this broadcast, because right now the pandemic, well, it's almost crushing the world as we know it. Thanks, everybody. Thank you once again, Michael. Stay safe and stay true to yourselves. Share, like, and follow, please do. I really didn't expect this to be so long, but often while we're broadcasting, someone will pop up that makes it all worthwhile, whether they're in Canada or elsewhere. Thanks for now.